Hi everyone and welcome back to the FPL Family YouTube channel. I'm Sam and today it is time for a top points pick video. Now just to recap, our top point pick video is the defender, the midfielder, the forward and of course the goalkeeper that I think will score the highest points return in each of those positions for the upcoming game week. Now we didn't have one of these videos ahead of game week 9 because of course I had lost my voice. So when we do our little recap, which we always do at the start of these videos, we're going to recap what happened in game week 8 because that was the last time that I had top points pick video out for you guys. So for that week we had Sanchez as the top point scoring goalkeeper. He was my predicted goalkeeper. He wasn't the highest scoring goalkeeper. Indeed, it was Tim Krul again that week. He doubled return 2 weeks in a row. What on earth's going on? But Sanchez did get 6, so I was really pleased with that. Good return from him in goal. I had Cancelo as my top point scoring defender of choice for that week. He also returned 6 for his clean sheet. So again, it was okay. He wasn't the highest scoring, but it was a decent return. I had Salah, of course I had Salah as the midfielder of choice for that week with his 13 points haul, and I had Kane up top as the top point scoring forward and he got 12 that week. So actually a really nice set of picks that week, all of them returning and all of them doing really quite well. Last week, I think we all know that I would have had Salah in midfield, but probably would have made some bit more rogue decisions than the ones that we did have getting returns last time around. So let's have a little look then at game week 10. Now game week 10 is an interesting set of fixtures because actually on paper there are a few teams that could easily have the top point scoring players per position for that week. So let's start then as always with the goalie. Now this time around I am going maybe a little bit out there because this is a goalkeeper that really hasn't done a lot so far this season in terms of clean sheets. Leeds have had a really difficult start to the season defensively. They obviously lost Ayling early on. They just haven't looked like the same defensive unit that they were last time around. But in game week 10, they come up against a Norwich side who have only scored 2 goals so far this entire season. They have the least attempts in the division. They've just had 89 attempts so far. For Norwich, they've had the least big chances so far, only managing 9 of those. They're only getting a chance every 9.5 minutes, which is not ideal. So Norwich, going forward, have been incredibly weak and therefore the chances of a clean sheet for Meslier are definitely there. He's also got the most saves so far this season with 35. Now if Norwich do have shots on target, if they do have some shots on goal, then he is likely to make the save because he does have a really high save percentage rate at the moment. So we could see the clean sheet, we could see those additional points adding on, and that's what I'm kind of hoping for because neither of these sides are scoring a lot of goals, which would suggest that the bonus points might go to the defenders if they keep clean sheets and if they rank highly in the BPS standings. So if Meslier gets a lot of saves this week, which the underlying stats suggest he will given what he's been doing so far, we could see him with bonus points and of course then save points on top of that. So I'm hoping for more than a 6-point return for Meslier this week. In defence then, actually, this was a really tough position to choose from this week because there are so many defenders that I think could do well. But I'm going to go to Chelsea and I'm going to go with Ben Chilwell. Now, of course, there are always some risks when you are picking out a Chelsea defender. But the wing-backs do look like the ones that you want to go with when you are looking for the defenders that are going to get the most points for you over the course of the game week. Chilwell has now played in the last 3 matches for Chelsea in the Premier League and has returned in every single one of those games. He had an 8-pointer, a 15-pointer and a 12-pointer. He is also now 9th for threat amongst defenders in the ICT index, which is quite frankly a remarkable stat given that most defenders have played 9 games and Chilwell has just played the 3. He comes up against a Newcastle side this time around who have conceded 94 crosses from the right hand side. Of course, where are you going to find the left back? On the right hand side. the fourth worst in the division in terms of the number that have been conceded from that side of the pitch. So he's going to be able to put in a number of crosses because of the way that he plays. Of course, this is all depending on if Tuchel decides to start him over Alonso, which I think he will. Newcastle have also conceded 37 chances from their right-hand side. Again, that is the third worst in the division. And again, that bodes well for Ben Chilwell if he starts. I'm going to move through the next one incredibly fast because, quite frankly, if I'd gone with anybody else, you'd have all thought that I had lost the plot. It is, of course, the Egyptian king, the man that is in literally the best form of any player I can ever remember watching in the Premier League. It's so consistent. It's just a remarkable achievement from what Salah is doing right now. And of course, he did have the evening off on Wednesday. He did not travel with the Liverpool team for the EFL Cup match that they had against Preston. So fully rested ahead of the weekend's actions. Of course, going to Brighton, or welcoming Brighton this weekend. We've seen that Brighton can concede, as they proved in game week 9 against Manchester City. And with Salah's form and the way that he is playing, I suspect that he could quite frankly score against everybody and anybody. And therefore, bank on him being the top point scoring midfielder this time around. And then up top this time, it's Ivan Toney. Now coming up against Burnley this time round, who have conceded 100 shots from inside the box so far this season. That is the worst. The most shots conceded from inside the box by any club has come from Burnley so far. They have also conceded 27 headed goal opportunities so far this season. Now Toney has the second most headed goal opportunities amongst forwards in the division with 7. Only Benteke has had more headed opportunities than Toney has so far this season, and he's had 8. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of uncertainty at Brentford at the moment in terms of Mbeumo and his potential injury and whether he might be available or not. But also, most importantly, in terms of their goalkeeper, Raya, who we now know is going to be out for 4 to 5 months. Now, we've seen in the AFL Cup that they haven't been as solid defensively as they normally are, and they have conceded to Stoke in that game. That game is still being played as I am recording this video. So I wonder whether that will be the spur that we need for the likes of Toney to kind of really push forward, protect that defence by scoring goals. In the EFL Cup, as it is at the moment, he has already registered a goal and an assist. So if we get that in the league, then he is likely to be one of the highest point scoring players across the league for this round of fixtures. So those are my 4 picks for this week. So in goal, we have Meslier from Leeds. In defence, we have Ben Chilwell from Chelsea. In midfield, of course it's Mo Salah from Liverpool. And up top then, it's Ivan Toney from Brentford. Who do you think are going to be the top point scoring goalkeeper, defender, midfielder and forward in game week 10? Let me know in the comments below who you think it will be. We'll obviously come back and have a little revisit of these ahead of game week 11 to see whether I was right or whether one of you guys were right in your predictions. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button. It is really good to be back doing these videos again. Nice to have my voice back. I'll see you on Sunday with Lee for our live stream.